Discovering Georges Seurat and the Art of Pointillism. Georges Seurat was a famous French painter born in 1859. He is best known for creating a unique painting style called Pointillism. This style uses tiny dots of pure color instead of brush strokes to make a picture. Seurat loved studying art and science. He applied small dots of contrasting colors close together. This makes colors look brighter and more vibrant when seen from a distance. One of his most famous paintings is A Sunday on La Grande Jatte. This large artwork shows people by a river on a relaxing sunny afternoon. If you look closely, you will see that the picture is made up of countless tiny dots. Seurat's work is very detailed. It took him a long time to complete each piece. Sadly, Seurat's career was cut short when he died at the young age of 31. His style, though, has inspired many artists and changed the way people think about color in painting. Seurat's pointillism has shown how thinking outside the box can lead to beautiful art.
Hello everyone, welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
I'm Tiffany.
And today we are going to be doing some art.
Ooh, I love it.
Art and culture, that's right. And we're going to be talking about a guy whose painting style is very unique, very interesting, and also it was sort of a painting style copied by computer printers when they first came out. We're talking about Georges Seurat and the art of pointillism.
Oh, super cool. All right, so shall we take a look at the article then to learn a little bit more about him?
That sounds like a good idea.
I love art, so I'm super excited.
Okay.
The article says Georges Seurat was a famous French painter born in 1859. Now, of course, a painter, it's a noun. It's a person who paints, and they're artists who paint beautiful pictures. So like, some famous painters are Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Claude Monet, Vincent van Gogh, and yeah, you get it. All right, so we can use painter in a sentence like this. Jessica's dream job is to become a painter and travel the world.
Wow, that would be an exciting job and life to live. All right, let's talk about Georges Seurat. He, that of course is Georges Seurat, is best known for creating a unique painting style called pointillism. That's right, that is what he is best known for. Of course, we could also say he is most famous or famous for creating a unique painting style called pointillism. I guess, like a lot of painters, he might have changed his style, right? I mean, if you look at a lot of Picasso's early work, it's very normal looking. It was only later that he started to make faces out of shapes and triangles and blocks and things like that. So he went through different styles, but his most unique or his most well-known painting style is pointillism. Now, what is pointillism? It is a style of painting that was developed in France in the late 19th century, of course, during the time when Georges Seurat was alive and working, the late 19th century or the late 1800s, we could also say, in which very small marks of color, points, are used to build up the picture.
Wow, you have to have very good eyes for that, I think.
I can't imagine how hard it would be to paint a whole painting with this style.
I know.
Crazy.
I think I would go cross-eyed because of how small it is.
Exactly.
Because here it says, this style uses tiny dots of pure color instead of brush strokes to make a picture. All right, so pure here is an adjective, and it is talking about color or sound that is very clear and beautiful, and it's not mixed with anything else. So pure colors are colors like red, blue, and yellow, also known as the primary colors, because these colors cannot be made from anything else. We can use pure in a sentence like this. My neighbor's dog has beautiful, pure white fur and is a very rare breed. All right, so we mentioned about brush strokes. So traditionally, painters use brush strokes to paint, right?
Yeah.
So a stroke is basically like when we talk about a pen or brush, you make the mark by moving the pen or paintbrush onto a surface or something. So it's like that, if you can imagine. All right, so let's continue reading. What does the next part of the article say?
All right. Well, Surah, it says, Surah loved studying art and science. Yeah, a lot of people get into art, and if they're painting people and animals, often they do get interested in science, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that what you're painting looks exactly right, like it would in nature. And of course, studying animals or plants in that kind of scientific way would probably let you make more accurate, beautiful paintings. And then it says he applied small dots of contrasting colors close together. Very interesting. It must have also taken him a long time to just come up with this idea of pointillism, right? But imagine applying so many little dots that you end up making a really big painting. The time that would take is just incredible. To apply something is basically to put or spread something on a surface. We could use this if we're talking about cream. You might say you should apply sunscreen before you go to the beach. So you put it on your skin and then you kind of rub it in or something like that. I guess we could say I apply butter to my bread, but we don't usually use it. We would also use a very similar word for something like butter or jam. I spread butter or jam. But if you apply or spread something, it's basically the same kind of action, but we would use apply with things like cream or paint or something onto a surface that you want to color or cover in some kind of way. For example, Felicity used 2 fingers to apply some eye cream to her face. Sometimes people use a
I think it's this one because it's like the you know, the least pressure or something.
And you have to make this face.
Yeah, it has to be like that or else it doesn't work.
You got to stretch your face.
All right, so we talked about contrast as well.
Right.
All these like contrasting colors. It just means you see a clear difference between 2 things.
Right.
So it just basically means they clash together like the colors black and white. They're 2 very different colors.
Very interesting. So it wasn't just a blue, 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 blue. You'd have blue and yellow and blue, something like that. Now, why would he do it this way? It says this makes colors look brighter and more vibrant when seen from a distance. So up close, you might see all these different colors with these different dots, and you go, what is that thing? But if you step back or if you look at it from a distance, the colors will look very vibrant, and of course your brain will kind of make everything sort of blend together. But yes, when we're talking about painting, especially paintings that you want to be very strong and bold and eye-catching, vibrant would be a great word to use for the colors that you're going to apply to your painting. Vibrant just means bright, basically. Vibrant colors catch the eye. They're very bright colors. There's not a lot of sort of gray mixed in there or something like that. Think of the colors you might see on a parrot or something. In Mother Nature, on birds, we often see vibrant colors. Colors that will definitely catch your eye. And yes, from a distance just means not close, from far away, all right? So oftentimes, maybe if you're looking at a cloud, from a distance, the cloud might look like an elephant or something like that. Of course, as you get closer, it just looks like a cloud. But from far away or from a distance, it might look a little bit different. So let's talk about Georges Seurat's most famous painting.
All right.
The article says maybe, but I would say this is probably the one most people would look at and go, oh,
that's him, right?
I've seen that before.
Exactly. So that one in the article says one of his most famous paintings is A Sunday on La Grande Yacht. Did I read that right? Yacht?
I guess
My
so.
French, okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so if you've seen this, it's a very, very beautiful painting. And if you see that, you know that's him.
Absolutely. This large artwork shows people by a river on a relaxing sunny afternoon. So it's a large artwork, or as some people might say, a really big painting. And it shows people, that's what we see in this painting. We see people by a river on a relaxing sunny afternoon. There's a woman over here. Right? She's got an umbrella, and there's people on the grass. And I think there's some water over there with some boats maybe
Seems
on
nice.
it.
Yeah, I think maybe yacht or yacht. Sounds like a boat.
It does. All right, yes, in this painting, you will see lots of people relaxing on a sunny afternoon. And if you're relaxing, you're doing something that, well, relaxes you, makes you feel comfortable, takes away your worries or your stress or your tension or something like that. When we look for a relaxing time, we're thinking of the things we do on the weekend, the things you might do with your friend, maybe the things you do in the evening time before you go to bed. So we're not busy, we're not stressed, we're not worried, we're not running around with too many things to do. No, this would be the opposite of that. We're having fun, but we're taking it easy, and we don't have a lot to do. That's why we feel very relaxed, because things are relaxing, or we're doing something relaxing. Here's an example. Before he goes to bed, Ted likes to drink a relaxing cup of warm milk. Maybe in the morning, he drinks an energizing cup of coffee, but a relaxing cup of warm milk will help him relax and hopefully get to sleep.
Okay, so let's go back to their article. It says, if you look closely, you will see that the picture is made up of countless tiny dots. Yeah, so again, from far away, you see this beautiful picture, but then like a lot of artwork, you like to go up close, you like to appreciate it, you will see that it is made up of these tiny dots. Now, to be made of something is just a phrase that means how something is formed or how it comes together. Like, for example, this study group is made up of 10 members. Or 10 students.
All right, back to the article. Seurat's work is very detailed. Oh yeah, it took him a long time to complete each piece. Imagine making a painting where you actually have to make every little dot to create shapes and, things and whatnot. It is very detailed. If something is detailed, it is made up of many, many little parts. It might be quite complicated. It might take a long time. Another word we might use is intricate. When you're looking at something and the closer you look, the more little things that you see in there, and you start to realize, wow, this would have taken a lot of time and skill and patience to build it, to put it together. So that is very detailed, something that normal people who don't really understand it might not really be able to look at and go, oh, I understand all of this. No, it's too detailed, it's too complicated. There are too many things going on there. Here's an example. The engineers looked at a detailed drawing of the generator, something that I would look at and go, I have no idea what this is.
Same here.
Got all the parts laid out. It's very complicated and detailed.
Yes, I would not know as well. Okay, but here the article then says, sadly, Seurat's career was cut short when he died at the young age of 31. Oh
31?
No, that's really young actually.
Even for that time, that's quite young. Yeah.
Anyways, well, maybe we'll figure out what happened to him when he died. But here we had the word career, and career is a noun, and it is the series of jobs that a person has in a particular area of work. So maybe it involves more responsibility as time goes on. So for example, if you plan to have a career as a doctor, you start off by, of course, being a medical student, then maybe you might get an internship. Maybe you might move up and become like a resident doctor. You might work at a hospital, and then you could become like, a more regular doctor somewhere. Or you could be a specialist as well. We can use career in a sentence like this. We can say, Rachel went to flight school so that she could have a career as an airline pilot.
Okay, something she might do for many, many years until she retires or something. But sadly, Georges Seurat's painting career, as we read there, it was cut short. He died at the young age of 31. If something is cut short, this phrase basically means it stopped before it's supposed to stop. It ends very early or something like that, probably for an unusual, strange reason. Maybe there was an accident, maybe there was a change of plans or the schedule, or maybe you just ran out of time. But if something gets cut short, you might be talking about a baseball game that gets cut short because suddenly it starts raining really hard. And they were supposed to play 9 innings, supposed to be a 2-hour game, but maybe after just half of that time, they had to end it very early. The game was cut short, ended before it was supposed to, or before it was expected. So yeah, if you die at the age of 31, most people would live, even then they'd live to 50, 60, now of course much older. So if you die young, we might say that your life was cut short by an accident or a disease or something sad like that.
Yeah, definitely. But before we begin or we figure out what happened to him, we need to look at our language in focus for today. All right, so today's language in focus is how we can use adverbs to modify a sentence. Now, usually we learn that adverbs can modify a verb, adjective, or other adverbs in a sentence. Well, adverbs can also modify a sentence as well. What we do is we put the adverbs in front of the sentence or within a sentence to emphasize the speaker's emotions or opinions or the order of things. So some common adverbs that we can use in the beginning of the sentence are sadly, like we saw in the article, interestingly, then, firstly, secondly, obviously, probably, apparently, and so on. Let's take a look at some examples to get a better understanding. In the article, we have the sentence, Sarah's work is very detailed. It took him a long time to complete each piece. Sadly, Sarah's career was cut short when he died at the young age of 31. Okay, so we saw here that sadly was put in the front, but we can also do this. His career was sadly cut short when he died at the young age of 31. So instead, we took sadly and put it in the beginning of the sentence to show more emphasis and maybe to show that this is a really, really, really sad thing that happened. Here is another example. If I have the sentence, after we waited for hours, the bus finally arrived to take us home. If I want to use the adverb finally to modify our sentence, we can actually put that in the beginning of the sentence to say, finally, after we waited for hours, the bus arrived to take us home. Super easy, right? Try it out next time and everyone will think you're an expert at writing.
All right, so sadly, George Seurat died at the young age of 31. I guess that just makes us sort of value and admire the paintings that he left behind much more because there weren't that many paintings, clearly. And beyond that, his style, this style of pointillism that he helped to develop. His style, though, has inspired many artists and changed the way people think about color and painting. Yeah, I have to admit, the first time I saw his paintings, they reminded me of pictures from magazines or even a television screen. If you go up really close to a TV screen or get a color picture in a magazine, and look at it really closely, you'll notice it's also made up of really little dots of color that when you step back from a distance, looks like a painting. It's kind of like he invented that idea before engineers and scientists used it to make modern pictures and television images.
Yeah, it goes to show how far ahead he was in, in art as well.
Yeah, and understanding the brain and how our eyes see things.
Wow, it's amazing. It also says here, Seurat's pointillism has shown how thinking outside the box can lead to beautiful art. I definitely think that's what he did. He definitely thought outside the box. He was thinking, okay, instead of just using traditional, paint brush strokes or paint strokes, let me do something different. And when you think outside the box, it's a great phrase to use. It just means you think of new ideas that are not traditional or expected, and you aren't really controlled or think about it, you are really put inside of a box or something. So yeah, sometimes you really do have to step outside of that box and be creative in order to be maybe the next future leader in art or maybe even engineering or science, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure there were a lot of painters at the time who said, George, what are you doing?
You're crazy.
You can't make a painting like that. And you proved them wrong by thinking outside the box.
Definitely. All right, so do you guys like today's topic? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Yay.
And before we say goodbye, let's have a look at our chat question. What do you think about pointillism, the pointillism style created by Georges Seurat? Do you like it or not, and why?
I quite like it because I like pointillism. I think it's super interesting. And to think about someone in the 19th century, again, creating all these tiny little dots before his time. It's pretty amazing to think that, wow, where did he get this idea from? And to even make pictures out of it, I think it takes a lot of, great brains and, a lot of maybe artistic skill as well.
Oh, yeah. A lot of creativity, a lot of originality, and also probably a lot of determination to make it work.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he had to try many experiments before he could make beautiful paintings like the ones we have.
I would probably give up it by like the 10th dot.
My hand would hurt.
Yeah, or like my eyes. I feel blind.
This is hard. Vocabulary Review.
Painter. We think of Vincent van Gogh as a famous painter now, but he wasn't successful when he was alive. Pure. This bottle has pure oil without any sugar, salt, or other things added. Apply. A special paint has been applied to this wooden bench to protect it from the rain. Relaxing. When my body feels sore, I like to spend a relaxing hour in a hot bath. Detailed. Nicole saw the car accident when it happened and gave a detailed report to the police officer. Career. Jack started his teaching career at a small school in Sanxia. Now he's a principal in Taipei.
智慧小补帖
Pointillism. Pointillism. Stroke. Contrasting. Contrasting. Vibrant.